was really happy with the compete. I thought after Saturday's practice, we had an alumni function that I attended with DeAndre and Chris, and they both said, it's going to be all right, it's going to be all right. And yesterday in practice, we really competed, like the whole team competed, not just the starters, but the what we call our scout team, our pinning team, really competed, and we knew that that's what it was going to take, and we had to get back to them being willing to take shots. So James Demery, although he had an all-time bonehead play on a steal, fast break, when you've just dunked, why would you not just dunk the next ball? But we'll have a long flight to Seattle or Spokane to figure out what exactly he was thinking on that play. Newkirk hit those 2 big free throws, and we did have some hanging of heads, worried about the ball going in. We'll move forward with that. And in a lot of ways, college basketball is about the kids, and unfortunately people get confused. They think it's about the coaches. And to see a Damian Lee back playing, I think it's a wonderful thing. That's what I just said to him. I admire the way he plays, and I think that that's what's good about this game. What Brew is going through with these injuries, and yet he keeps them in, and they keep fighting and fist fighting, and they were buried at Colorado the other night, fought back. So beats the alternative here, and the sun came up on Saturday morning, and the sun come up on Tuesday morning, and we'll fly out and play a big boy game on Wednesday.
Phil, it seemed like Newkirk gave you a nice spark off the bench tonight. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, he's got that. He's got a little something in him. And again, he makes a dribble play that you can't make. He had 2 of those. But I thought he fought. He had a really big play in the second half where he didn't get the rebound. He tipped it out. And at his size, he was the only guy under 6 foot on the court, really. That was a really nice play. And I have a lot of confidence in him. And Dave Duda said to me over the weekend, he said, Shavar's a lot like DeAndre was last year. DeAndre's stroke is so markedly different this year than it was last year. But last year, the balls went in because DeAndre thought they were going in. And that's the way Shavar is. Shavar thinks the ball's going in. It shouldn't, if the basketball gods were making that decision. But he's a tough little guy. He's a good player.
So what did you think of your pressure, and what kind of impact did it have on the game?
Pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah, who are these?
It's something that we've committed to, and if I'm honest about it, we're probably a guy and a half short maybe from doing it this way, but like we ran offense and scored 52 points. The other night we ran zone offense and scored whatever, I don't even know what the final score was, but we scored in the mid-50s. Unless we get those breakaways and those scramble plays, and we're talking to this team about being aggressive and going downhill. The same thing we did on the post. It looked bad in the beginning of the game. They were playing off the weak side well, but that's the way it's going to be.
When in your mind did you commit to that, Phil?
In the summer. And then I just tried to study something that made some sense. I knew we weren't VCU. I knew we weren't Louisville. And I looked at a lot of different variations that people use. And the one that jumped to me was Florida. So our terminology is not that complicated. We actually used 4 of them tonight. We press on the ball man-to-man. We press off the ball man-to-man. We press zone, which was the ones that we broke loose in the second half where we were down that stretch. That was our zone press. Now Wednesday night, but we have to commit to it. we got it. We've got to do it. We were bad Friday night. We didn't do it. They were poorly coached Friday night to do it, and then tonight I was insisting on we're doing it on every possession.
Phil, what do you think of Aaron Brown off the bench? I mean, he talked about Newkirk, and I know he's giving you a lift, but what about Aaron?
Aaron in the second half, he got it at halftime. Three of them got it at halftime, and I thought that they had not posted. Aaron answered that call in the second half. He had a big tip in. I think that put us up 1 or 3, stretch it from 1 to 3. Stay in his game. Stay in his game. You know, if all the people from Yaden and Darby would love him and let us coach him, everything's going to be all right with Aaron Brown. What do you got?
So not an easy stretch. You have to go to Spokane, 6 games in 13 days. How difficult is this stretch?
Well, you know, it's interesting, Mark, because one of the things that I'm going to write down as a negative when I get home tonight is I didn't think our conditioning was very good. And I know how hard they've been worked by Brian Bingaman. And like yesterday, we practiced the day before a game. We practice exactly 1 hour and 20 minutes. We don't practice 121. We don't practice 119. Practice an hour and 20 minutes. And if you're young, we need more. You know, and going out there, national TV and all that kind of stuff, it is what it is. You know, it's a bit unfortunate that the NIT fell apart, and this is an opportunity for us. When presented, we accept it. We're going to travel the right way, and we have a game Wednesday. You know, we don't have 4 games in the next week or whatever it is, or you know, we don't have a game on Thanksgiving night, and you know, everybody's going to be able to introduce themselves to that at that game. All the fans are going to be able to introduce themselves to each other. That's how many people are going to be there. You're going to know everybody in the place.
How different was DeAndre from Friday night to tonight?
He was different in practice because he accepted that the game couldn't be played at warp speed. Dave Duda broke his shots down. He's taking shots off bounce. And he wanted to guard Damian Lee. My initial reaction was to put James Demery on him to start, but DeAndre was more of a leader tonight. On Friday, he followed, and he kind of chased the emotion, and it didn't work. He was a little cool on Friday. Tonight, he was DeAndre. He had a fire in his belly. Got anything?